Okay, so here's a lesson on keyboard shortcuts. Before I start with keyboard shortcuts, though, let me make sure that you understand the easiest way to grab a word. Like, let's say you want to delete this word, just double click and then hit delete. Or if you want to replace it with something, double click and then start typing. Hello. I can't stand it when I see people, fighting with it by going swipe, giving themselves carpal tunnel, and then they have the gall to hit delete. Because really, if you're going to replace the word, you don't have to hit delete. As soon as you start typing, it disappears. You just go like this and then start typing. So Control Z, I just did. That should be added to this. Control Z is probably actually more important than anything. Let's see. I'm going to use a little trick here. Control C, Control V, and then I'll write Control Z. So that undoes things. And I always remember Z is like going back a step or something. Now, Control plus arrow key is another handy one. If you hold Control and then arrow key, it jumps a word at a time. Now, that leads us to the next one. Control Shift does a little different. Let's see. Control Shift selects, which can be really handy if you're on a Chromebook trackpad. It's really hard to select, especially an entire line. You just use Control Shift. But one better than that is to hold. Excuse me, not Control Shift, Shift arrow key. But uh, I'm getting my commands mixed up because the next one is Control Shift arrow key. Probably the most valuable player because now you're using the advantages of both keys. Control arrow key jumps a word at a time. Shift selects. So if you use Control Shift, it selects an entire word at a time. Very handy. Control S saves. Always hit Control S. Anytime you stop typing or working, um, just hit Control S as like your breather, because if the power goes out, you'll lose everything. Control A will select everything. Oh, and by the way, a lot of these shortcuts can be seen if you find yourself doing something over and over. Start paying attention to the text off to the side in the menu. It'll tell you what it does. So Control C copies. So if I want to Control C this, and then I could paste it down here. Obviously, it just copied and pasted. Control V was what I used to paste. That's the next one right here, or not the next one, but it's down a ways. So Control C, Control K will make a hyperlink. So if I want to go to another website uh, somewhere, I don't know, Republic Services, let's say. If I want, I can just click up here, hit Control A, or I could just swipe. Control A is better. Control C will copy it. Then I could just double click this word, or I could select the whole thing. Let's say I just double click it, hit Control K, Control V, enter, done. I have a link now to the Republic site right there. I obviously don't need that, but anyways, Control V is pasting. I've done that multiple times already. And then the other one is if I close this tab and suddenly I realize, oh no, I need that tab to be back. Control Shift T will save the day. It will bring you back to whatever tab you closed. So start using these keyboard shortcuts. They're very handy. It will improve. There's a lot of people who freak out at how efficient and quick I can do stuff, and that's because my left hand is constantly working while my right hand is also using the mouse to point and stuff. So I'm a two-handed worker. Can you imagine if you did some sport with one hand all the time instead of two hands? Improve your efficiency by being a two-handed worker.